Hello everybody. Hopefully everyone's doing well today. So, now that Sky Girl is done, I can actually move on to Redstrike. Well, the filming's done, I still got to edit it, but yeah. We're moving on to Redstrike. And today I'm probably just going to kind of show you guys a couple of things here. I was importing it from 5.3, so a lot of the sets are pretty much almost done except for a handful. So I'm just going to go through a couple. So I have everything all set up. Yeah, Redstrike isn't going to have much action scenes compared to like Sky Girl. It's not going to be as bad to film, but still, it's going to be quite interesting. A lot more lighting opportunities, as you can see. So if we just get a new camera here, still deciding what camera angle what aspect ratio I'm going to work with. Still messing around with that idea. I want to go with at least like a here. Yo, turn that off. Okay. So yeah, this is my new project here. It's not too bad actually. So we'll have a dialogue scene here. And yeah, actually, let's change the camera. First of all, I'm actually going to do 2. Yeah, I'm probably going to do 2:1 actually for the aspect ratio. Maybe a squeeze factor of maybe just gonna do spherical lens. Couple things here. Just gonna turn off the isoprene. And also I'm going to increase the bloom just a little bit here. And that, but we'll also look into changing the lens flare to 0.05. How do you know what camera to use and what settings to change? It depends. Like with the camera here, like I said, I kind of go with a high cinema, but like what settings to change, it depends. Aspect ratio is one that a lot of people don't really discuss. So I'll probably go through a rundown. You know, you see 16:9, then 2.391 and 2.351, and then you get something like 2:1. So just imagine 1920 by 960. That's what you're normally going to see with a lot of television or anything like streaming services, like Netflix shows will go for 2:1 because it's just closer to like what you see on a smartphone. Not only that, but it combines television and cinema together. 2.39 is more for action movies. 1.851 is more for comedies, like romantic stuff. The reason why is kind of goes back to the 1950s. So when you're dealing like to get people away from like television back in the 50s when it was starting to emerge, theaters felt threatened. They had to make their movies theaters wider. So they started filming like VistaVision and CinemaScope, very wide aspect ratios, sometimes as much as 2.761 for westerns or something like that. And those is extremely expensive, so you're going to have much more wider screens. It's something like similar to like what IMAX is doing. It just draws more people to the seats, so it's just kind of firmly implanted that anything with a wide aspect ratio is more for action. So Sky Girl is 2.391, and then this one I'm thinking just 2.1. I think it's more appropriate. When it comes to aspect, so a couple other things I kind of determine. When it comes to aperture, you probably saw me change it to 4 to 8. Aperture is your f-stop, obviously. When you change it to 1.8, obviously we're going to have to reduce the lighting intensity to like a 0, maybe -1. Oops. I was in the wrong one. So if we just change it to like 0, maybe 1 or so, or 2. Obviously you're going to have a much more shallower depth of field. This is mostly if you want to focus on characters, on something. If you want all the attention to a character, you can also do deep focus, but keep that in mind. When you do deep focus shots, you're going to have to bring in a lot more light, which you just can actually use exposure compensation for that. So I think just for her, I think the whole scene, I'm just going to do 4 just to be on the safe side. So yeah, when I change that to 4, you're going to have a lot, it's not, the depth of field isn't going to be as shallow, but you're still going to need to bring in light, because the more it opens up, the more light it needs to take in. Am I doing this? Sorry. So that's just something to think about. When it comes to lens flare, a little bit is fine, but you don't want it too much to be distracting. Spherical versus when it comes to lenses, what I did here, when you go up to lens, you have something called squeeze factor. This will make it much more anamorphic. There's a difference between spherical and anamorphic. Anamorphic, for that wide screen, you want to have that. You can have that kind of lens where it kind of stretches it out. It's more of a choice. There's a couple reasons why I can't really specify it, but oof, that's too much lens flare for me. It's my lens flare. Yeah, for him, we need to actually just kind of, we're going to have to change his lighting a bit. I want to actually increase the bloom here so you don't see our character in question. So that's going to take some careful lighting to get where we are. I want to kind of play around with exposure so you don't see him. We'll get to that. But yeah, that's just when it comes to like what settings to change. It's more like what you want for your shots, what you think about. Same thing applies for everything in the camera, every single thing. So if we just change it back to 1, I'm going to change it back to 3 here. Everything, like your aspect ratio, your depth of field, camera movement. It's all about what you're trying to tell. I think that's quite important. Your lens choice, I'm using like 58. We might do 35. I might just play around with that. It comes down to what I think about what works best. And that's really kind of more of a style, like I said, it's more of my choice. What works best? What can I use? There's my What's this? Oh, I gotta change that. So I wonder it's goofy. So I'll have to play around with lighting. I have to play around with I mean, the lighting's okay for what it is. I think you kind of see where, like, when it comes to motivator light, you kind of see where I'm putting my light sources are. So red and blue. You have one red light, blue light, and then you have all these lights to work with. And then you have this pink neon. So if we go to my camera, kind of see it here. It's just a simple point light. So point lights, a lot of rectangular lights to work with here. And then, you know, I'll probably have a couple of things. If characters are sitting down, obviously I'm going to think where my light source is going to be. So I have to kind of play around with that. But yeah, this is, like I said, Redstrike isn't going to be so much of a technical thing. It's more going to be like more of a directional kind of thing, like the style. It's going to be a little bit different from Skygirl in terms of it. There's going to be a lot more like choices when it comes to lighting, because you know, Skygirl was pretty simple. It was just the Scottish Highlands. I can work with overcast, and then maybe a set in New York City during the middle of the day or something like that can work. Just only had a couple. With Redstrike, I'm working with a lot of interior scenes here, so let's just go to the other scene. And let me just stop piling this, and then we can work off of it. So this is just, I mean, your set design was just me just assembling the set from scratch, which I always recommend you doing here. So I have a bunch of glow lights here. What I want to do is set the glow higher. I do want to, I don't know what the heck is that. Oh, that's right. That's the, I'll probably put that here. We'll have to kind of make sure when it comes to the character, I'll have to kind of, you know, set his lighting here a bit different. I want him to be completely blacked out so you don't see him. Like, and I think it stands out pretty well. I've done it before, so we'll have to try it. Yeah, pretty simple. A lot of this stuff I built myself. Here, kind of, but a lot of it's like from a field bar set. This is from CG Trader. You even see the lights here. There's a little bit of light. So that's just something to think about when you're lighting your scene. Just think, oh, if there's lamps and lights and all that, you better light those, because if I see like fire and you're just using and it just doesn't emit a light, I'm going to be very upset at you. So the other side here, like I said, this was actually in 5.3. Kind of see where I'm working with here. So a lot more detail for me. I actually this was from this was kind of painted using vertex paints and everything. So this is just using a lot of Megascans assets and just a lot of vertex painting too. So see a lot of props here. Obviously here you can see a lot more lighting. So yeah, this shot, I mean this whole set and everything else, there's a lot of focus and lighting. I kind of really took it seriously. You can see a lot of decal work here. And a lot of it is just, if you work with decals and if you work with some vertex painting, there's some tutorials that cover that. William Falker Has something called Easy Mapper you can use, which I think I used for this. And then there's some sets here that I just kind of took pieces out of and built it as my own. Or sorry, built it as my own little set here. So you kind of see where a lot of this decal work and a lot of the stuff kind of comes into play. There's some kit bash sets here. So, yeah. But I think it's pretty appropriate. And not only that, when I kind of build sets, like I don't need to do a 360. I just like to film like something like this and kind of plan my camera. So I think I do have a couple more sets I gotta finish converting, but we'll get there when we get there. So this is my apartment set. Probably gonna kind of optimize it a bit more, like delete some stuff that you don't see. So you can tell I actually still got to set dress a little bit more. Yeah, you see where I put the light sources here. Kind of take note of that. Low set dressing here, none of that, but this is something that you kind of see in really good video game design for anybody, is environmental storytelling. Bethesda is really, really good at it, even though, you know, a lot of their game writing isn't that great, but they do pretty well with environmental storytelling, especially with Fallout games. They do very well with it, and they'll, like, if you go through like one of their levels, you can see a story unfold just by placing props, and that's quite inspirational, I think. So you can tell how a person lives in their apartment. You know, there's trash everywhere. Probably have like pizza boxes. You know, this person's not the most up. You know, doesn't take care of themselves very well. So that's something to think about when you're building your sets. Just kind of think what your storytelling is. Let your environment tell beforehand. So that's the thing I usually. It's kind of hard for me to like properly teach it, but when you're starting out, I think this would be like part 2 of my project or my Unreal thing. Is one, you have to, one is your set design. How are you going to tell that about that? So it depends. What are you going for? What are you thinking? That's usually something I always think about before I start building. I always think, okay, what works with this, or what works. Why do we have a set like this? What, you know, and even then, I just use a lot of lighting, get ideas for like how to light and how to build something. And sometimes it takes days, sometimes it takes, for me, I just sit in a single session and I don't stop until I'm done. But it depends on what you want to do. Okay, so I feel like making a new level for starters. So let's just call it S base. No, sorry. No, villain base 1. Sure. So I'm trying to think. So one of the sets is like a villain base, something a lot more, I would say, interesting, like just like a hall or something. So this is 4 meters. So let's see what this is. So like I said, think about this. Think about it in metric when it comes to snapping and everything. So there's a couple of things I want to bring in. First of all, let's snap here. Always think, okay, what works here? What are we going to use? So this thing is 4 meters. Okay. Maybe it's not going to work. We'll see. I'm thinking just like a villain layer, like an evil villain layer, something like a laboratory. And this one I'm going to have to think, oh, maybe actually we do have a laboratory. Let's see what we have here. So I just kind of go around and think, okay, we have wall module 1. Well, does it have a lot of detail? Is it what I'm looking for? Yeah, probably not. And some days I'm like, meh, we'll see. Really don't need a whole lot, so I like, let's see, start with this. This could be a pretty decent base. And then, you know, maybe I could change it to like gray or something. And then we have like a ceiling. You know, I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing. I'll come up with something later, but I just want like you know, I have like ooh, yeah, I just remembered something interesting. Yeah, I'll do this much later. I'll probably we'll have to go to Kit Bash. I remember they had something interesting. I just wanted like an evil villain thing, so I'll have to get a couple ideas and think about that. And it's only going to be a handful of like moments. It's not really going to be really important, but thinking like a little catwalk or something, and then a whole bunch of barrels or something, like a big giant death ray or whatever they have. If I could find it, I'll probably use it. In fact, I probably, you know what, we might, you know, I might just, I don't probably need a whole lot. Let's just go to plane. Let's go here. And usually a lot of that stuff is just working with planes. So let's go with 4. If there's any like steel or anything like that, I can work off of it. Please log me in. I don't want to do this BS. Yes. Okay. So let's look for steel. Alright, let's go for metal. Do you have like what are we doing for treated? Definitely, ooh, I do like that. I really like that. So definitely I can work with that. Oh yeah, this could work just fine for the floor. You know, and then we can like put decals or something. You know what, I actually can get something here. You know, if I could find a pretty decent catwalk, we can be in business. I'm just kind of using this as a reference. Looking for something industrial, metal, hostile. No, that, but we can like implement, you know, I can implement like 2 here, corrugated metal around here. Something to kind of break conformity, I guess. Do I have secret lab? Let me check. I know I have a Kit Bash thing. I probably just use steel for you know, just use the not steal since I paid for this thing. Probably just use kit bash, not steal. Sorry, I paid for this damn thing. This is a time where I had like a little kit bash thing where I would buy that stuff on sale. Like they had like a bundle thing and I bought it. Half the time I forget I own this. Yeah, I'm thinking like stuff like this. This is just ridiculous, so I'll probably put that in. Something that's completely over the top and go, what the hell is this? Is there like catwalks? I'm gonna be very happy if they have catwalks. Ooh, we do have something. We have crowd control. Okay. I'm sure I could find a catwalk. You have a scissor lift. Bomb. Potential bomb. I don't know if I have this in the Unreal thing. Let me go check if I have Unreal. I probably don't. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go back to Kitbash and download it. So anyone who doesn't know what Kitbash is, hang on, let me sign in quickly. Can be useful, but the problem is they have really high textures, and the thing is, their sets are a little bit, yeah, I have this, a little crazy, I guess. You know, let's just do 2K and then do native, and I'm just gonna download it. That'll work. So a lot of stuff is a little heavy. Don't recommend it if you're working on games. So we're waiting for that. I do have Utopia. I should actually bring that in too. And when did I get post-apocalypse? I don't remember half this crap. Yeah, it must have been a bundle or something. I don't remember that. But yeah, it can be pretty heavy. Do like a lot of this stuff, so I'll just throw it in and see we just kind of work with it here. So nah. All right, back to Unreal. So maybe there's like a door or something I can work with here. Do we have a door? I do like this railing, so I'll probably work with that here. I think we can work with this. So that could be something like this, and then... Oh, wait a minute. I have a really crazy idea. No. Is there like a blue thing? Can I change color? Nah, apparently not. Nah, they're not cool with it. Okay. Oh, well, let's just go see. In the meantime, let's just open up iClone. I'll just take some notes here, but I do like some of that Kit Bash stuff, so I'll probably like throw it in. I do want to add one more thing. I'll actually, yeah, let me go see like what we can do with this. Oh, this is gonna be really stupid if I can get it to work. Right now, we're just being stupid. I'm just. Let's see. Waiting for that to open. All right. Yeah, we might as well be stupid. Yeah. I want to see if this works. I don't have any faith in it, but we'll find out. I don't have faith. The prop. Have any other mechs? Or do I just have one? What the oh, wait a second. No. Now that wouldn't be fun, but that's not really fitting. It's blue. Well, actually, can this actually do a bunch of animations? Yes, it can. Yeah, let's be stupid. Let's just see if this works. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, usually with vehicles and this type of stuff, it doesn't import very nicely through iclone, through the FBX method. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to my mortal enemy, the live link. And I'm just going to transfer this prop over. Because I don't think straight. Yeah, we're just going to transfer this dumb thing. Yeah, there we go. We're going to transfer that and see if it works. Oh dear. If this thing imports right, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh if it works. Yes. Yes. It's a skeletal mesh too. Oh my god, yes. Yay, it's a skeletal mesh. Oh, yes, it's gonna be working. It's just dumb. Yes, please. Save everything. Save everything. Okay, so, no. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let's just do... Can we do like an idol or something? uh, so what we're going to do is I'm going to export this. Yeah, that worked a lot better than expected. So I'm doing this as an FBX. We're going to put this as like a 60 frame per second. I'm going to laugh if it works. This can't work. This shouldn't be that easy. I call it dumb robot. You know, there you go. Yeah, I call it idle one. Idle one, dumb robot. Idle one. This shouldn't work. So we'll put this under motion here. Is it done? All right, let's put this here. And let's do this. That's probably our robot here. 60 frames per second. Import all. Oh my god, it's gonna probably work, isn't it? Ah, this is stupid. It worked. It absolutely worked. Oh my goodness gracious. This is great. It worked. I just find this whole thing funny. So yeah, wow. It worked a lot better than expected. So is there any other things like another idle animation? So let's just go and remove that object animation. That actually can import all the animation at once at one point, but jump jetpack. Let's find out what that is. Yeah, so when you're doing like vehicles and such, just use the live link. Characters, maybe you can actually do it, but I just like exporting because I like to have full control. But when it comes to stuff like that, that's very simple to work with. I just put it in through the live link. This is stupid, but it just makes me laugh. But you know, it's an FPX, so it's going to work. It's the same skeleton. So what we could do is, does it have like we'll have to like put something in here, but man, that should have not worked. Is it like an attack or something? Alright. That was loud. Well, I'm gonna have to put this robot in now because it worked. It freaking worked. Yeah, you know what? I have this perfect. I need to talk to somebody about doing the voiceover. You know, sparks fly over and the robot falls and It shouldn't have worked. This, no, no. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if we do level sequence here, put it under sequences here. I'll just do dumb robot. Yeah. So I'll just do dumb robot. Ah, okay. Yeah, okay. It was trapped behind the blue, the live link. That's why it wasn't working. Oh. Yeah, I may have to just remove that. Yeah, that's okay. Let's have a look. See. Yeah, it was just connected to the live link. So yeah, I'll have to do the animation mode. But hey. I can even turn like the parts around. I wonder if, okay, can we edit? Okay, let's see the skeleton of this thing. Okay, so we have a skeleton we can work with. We can adjust. So when you move around, I can easily just go this and just adjust. Yeah, just like that. That'd be pretty nice. Yeah, good, good. Happy with this robot. I think I have some voiceovers here for somebody. He's still stuck in that dang thing. Yes, you are. Go. Stop. Eventually, I'm going to have to go into this character and fix it. I know what that. Yeah, get rid of that blue. Get rid of it. Yeah, I see you, little. There it is. That little troublemaker. Just get rid of that. Get rid of it. In fact, I can tell it to go to hell. Yeah, get out. Get out. Oopsies. There. Really not the smartest move, but whatever. And if I wanted to, I could actually just link it to the live link. So you take that, whatever that character was, and then you just apply blueprint, and then you'll be good to go. So, yay. If you wanted to. All right. Then yeah, I can turn, do animations and all that. So yay, we're done with that. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, you can do stuff with the live link. Many people do. I just have issues at times with it. All right, so let's just bring in the other characters. So nope. So let's bring in our other character. Actually, I should bring her into Character Creator 4, make sure she works. Okay. Seems okay, but there's a couple things I want to do. Let's go into Character Creator. I just want to make sure everything works before I do anything. Speaking of which, ooh, we are going to keep this. So what I'm going to do is, let's actually just find the folder. Show and explore. There we go. Put this under content. Find this, and I'm just going to throw it in. Yeah, I have too many programs and I'm not thinking. Oops. Yes. Let's do. What are things you have to check and determine if they have good require things? One thing is I'll mention it. I usually check eye blink, smiling. I'll do like a couple animation tests to make sure everything is good. All right. Ooh, I like that robot arm. Still in. Hey, that's not bad at all. I like that. Okay. So, yeah, we can just throw a bomb in here. Airlock. Do we have any bombs? Anything large? Ooh, yes. What will this film be about? Well, it was an idea years ago. It's one of those things I had to finish. But it's about like a mercenary who kind of is in like having a midlife crisis, I guess, or having some kind of crisis, an existential crisis. Do I work in Unreal? Do I do this for a living? No, but I'm actually in the process of looking for a career in Unreal Engine and cinematics. I'm kind of exploring options. I do host. I'm actually in the process of hosting tutorials for anybody who wants to work in cinematics. Having everything all sorted out, so I'll let you guys know when everything will be ready. It's like I would say it's more of a has a serious edge to it. Like this was like just like a little short to introduce everything. I'm not sure if I'll continue with it because this was somebody else's property that I was adding a story in. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's able to help out or anything like that. I'm not sure. So that was kind of like my idea. I don't know if any of the cast will be interested. I'm not. I have no idea in reprising. Why is it slow? So let's see what I check. The first thing I do is one, I make sure I kind of run a couple things. Number one is check the eye blink, which is good. Otherwise, you can go in, correct eye blank for the character, and then you can also do something called fix eye element. Yep, I kind of use iclone as well. So, it is slow because maybe I have 3 things going on at once. But yeah, I mostly do my animation in like I do my base animation in iclone. Okay, so we have here. Make sure. Yeah, I could do keyframe animation. Alright, so just get out of that for a moment. And then I kind of test out facial expressions for her. So I'll make sure that we have something called CC4 extended. We should, since she... Okay, so we have wrinkles. Okay, we have something with the teeth. I gotta fix the teeth. This is why I check these things. So it must be like an old one here. So let's just go here. Like human anatomy. Sure, replace it. Weird. Alright. Oh, that's okay. I'll just fix it. So I can actually like probably won't go with that. Yeah, we'll probably have to reset that. Yeah, well, we'll see. See when she talks. Like you do the animatic for in Unreal. Yeah, what they do is something with virtual production. A lot of that stuff. So television, visual effects. It's starting to move in that direction. Oh, t-shirt. Let's make sure conform. What if there's another t-shirt I can use? Or you want more working on the final product? You want to go in this field? Well, the field I'm looking into is more cinematics kind of material. And there's a field for it too. Okay, so let's just make sure. I think she's okay to go. Yeah, see how this works. Yep, Cinemax. It's actually quite. Nah, I don't know. Nah, probably not. Go with this and see what works. Yeah, whatever. We'll export the avatar to 496. All right. Okay. I have a motion plus for her. Right. Nope. Okay. Motion plus. Something with the mouth. No, I'm just overthinking it. Hang on. Okay. No, I'm just overthinking it now. Nope, it's fine. So I just want to make sure all the facial expressions are fine. Okay. So did I use a subdivided mesh? Yes, I did. Okay. Delete faces, max texture sizes, range. Does the clone already? Can I see the hair physics? Yeah, there's. So we're gonna see some hair physics. One is going to be, I think it's going to be for the side bangs here. So probably see this. I might actually turn that off because that's gonna be maybe for the. Is there anything for the? No, probably not going to be a whole. Actually, to be honest with you, I might turn it on for the braid. Fucking hell. from tuning your movies. I'll probably see if I can actually add something in. Okay, that'll work. Can you put in a movie like would be interesting in hand framing keyframes? That would require some compositing. Yeah, you can do it in iclone too. You can, like what you can do is, what you could put them as a separate layer here. So if we were, like, here's the thing: you can do this in image sequence. You could do this in iclone, Blender, or whatever. I think Unreal has their own thing too. So you do this as current frame, and you want to make sure a couple things. PNG. Yep, that's fine. So if I do this, and she's now separated, then you just do some proper, then you have to like composite it, and yeah, I'm sure like, oh, I mean Unreal. Yeah, you could. Actually, yeah, you could. What they do is something called virtual product. I mean, yeah, I bet you could. You can have it to interact. I'm not really in that side of that thing though. Just letting you know, I'm not really a UE. Like I'm not really into the VP side of things. Like when it comes to blending that with live action. But yeah, I'm sure you can. You're fully capable. They do it all the time in movies. Yeah, you can. But to be honest with you, I don't really. The one thing with Unreal 5 is, like, I prefer with iclone because you can work. There's a lot more flexibility for me. Like, not only that, but you can also do lip syncing too, so. Which I'll probably bring it in later once we start animating her scene. So yeah, let's do this. Okay, where was I with this character? So let's see, 60 frames per second, delete hidden faces, use subdivided mesh. Now the thing is, when you're working with that, one second, just making sure we are good to go. Okay. And stylized animation also. Stylized animation, you're dealing with your 12 principles. Like if you're an experienced animator, you probably know what those are. So let me just pull up something my book here. Because you mentioned Roger Rabbit. Richard Williams, who animated, he was the director of animation. He has this book about that kind of thing. Because you're going to have to go, like you said, you want tuned characters. Yeah, you're going to have to animate them different than, this kind, much more human characters. So let's just quickly do something quick for you, if you're familiar with it. I'm not doing this in an iclone or anything like that. I'm sure you can do it in Unreal, but I'm just waiting for everything to export. So let's just turn that on. Yeah. I try now, it's fun. Oh, this is Blender actually. So This is a really bad one, but it's just me half-assing it. But yeah, this is kind of a really shitty animation, but still, you know. Terrible. This is pretty terrible. I'm sorry, but I should be ashamed of myself. Yeah, when it comes to this kind of stuff here, sorry. You can clean mocap in UE5. Not so much. Somewhat. This is actually more of an iclone. Like I said, I work with iclone for my character animation. I can actually do all this stuff. I'm working in Blender. This is just me animating Blender here. But I'm just kind of showing you like squash and stretch and various other principles of animation, anticipation and all that stuff. Because when you're working with like toon characters, you're gonna have to deal with squash and stretch quite a bit. Unreal could, but to be honest with you, it's still not as it's okay, but you know, compared to like iclone or cascader, it's, you know, it still has some ways to go. That's my personal opinion on that. So when we deal with the character here, nope, 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 nope. Sorry, I just let's see. Probably have our animation like this is just me planning it out. So let's see. A couple things I want to try out here. I'm not sure how to fix it, have a natural flow. Yeah, there's a way of fixing it. Yeah, when you directly see it, it's much more simple. Yeah, there's like some tweaks and edits. Yeah, actually, I hate the import export workflow. Yeah, that's why. Like when I plan a scene, when I kind of do conversations, I kind of care. Like, there's a lot of planning behind the scenes I do with these things. I have to make sure characters are like right in the, where I want them to be. You know, I had to block carefully and all that, but once I kind of get the system going, it kind of flows pretty well. The most important thing is kind of getting everybody in the right place. Okay, so let's see. I'll probably have to animate her. I'll probably go with my suit sometime, and I think this week I'll probably put on my suit. Get that going. All right, so more targets. Cheesy for pose. You're dealing with the 60 frame per second sample rate. So yeah, I'll probably bring these characters iclone animate. All right, no problem. Yep, Sam. If you have any questions, let me know. Uh, 7 a.m. It's about 12:18. I should actually be sleeping. No, I'm normally like I'm usually up late. Not the smartest thing. Not the smartest thing. Let's see. Alright, so let's answer the question that I was asked about by somebody. Can you change the skin color? Can I change the skin color? Thank you. I bring character from iclone, but can I change the skin color like what you did? After that port, can we put the camera? After we put the camera. Okay, so you're having trouble putting the sequencer in. Getting the sequencer in your camera settings. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll need to adjust here. Alright. In the meantime, one of my little shots here, I'm not sure if it's going to go through. Just me working with slow motion. So that's going to be for Sky Girl. Just one of the little shots I was telling somebody about. You don't see many camera rolls. I wanted something to reflect off of it, so. Yeah, if you're really interested in like keyframe and hand animation, you really want to do like cartoon stuff. Richard Williams' book, The Animated Survival Kit's an interesting read. I have it on my bookcase here. I pick it up and read it once in a while. I have a lot of weird, like, one thing is I always find like books to read and all that. I have one from like set designing to editing to camera work. If you really want a pretty good reference for like camera, if you really want to be like a really good well of knowledge, is Roderick Deakins. He has a website, and he also has like forums too that sometimes he'll pop in and answer once in a while. Stuff like this you'll find. You'll find stuff like this, planning eyelines and marks. Precise. Composition lighting, yeah. Let's find out. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Roger answered it. Let's see. Oh yeah, he did Rango. Oh, that's actually quite interesting. Like, it's really good resource, you know. I don't think so. Paintings is an interesting reference to go off of. When I do planning shots, I always think the first thing I always think of when I plan a shot is how is it going to reflect the character, and then what's the storytelling like. What I always think is how it's going to tell the story, how it's going to reflect off a character or a situation or whatever. That's usually my first thing I think of. So. Alright, so let's see about Elise. The animation through the newly imported Redstrike character. That'll be like next week once I get my final animation. Okay, so we have a problem here. We have tons of problems. Oh dear. Lots of problems. Oh dear. So, you see seams. So one thing I do is change the specular to 0.2. And then may have to change everything to 0.2. You can see a little bit, but actually it's slowly improving. But we'll see when it comes to the light. And then for her arm, and someone was asking about skin color. You're going to have to do it through the base here. So this will give you a tint. You can work with that. You can set your hue, saturation, value. You just change the value up and down until you get consistent, until you get some consistency. But what I might be seeing here is your roughness. So let's see what's roughness. You may have to work with a couple of things. It might be the neck roughness, but we'll see. Don't think. We'll see how it's going. I'm a little concerned about a couple of things. Number one, I think we're dealing with roughness issues. But let's find out when. But to be honest with you, I don't really worry about that until I get 0.044. Okay, that's the roughness. There's some consistency. How about body? Okay, they're all consistent. Now this might be just a lighting thing, so let's go find out. And I could close that out. Okay. Yeah, that's mostly a lighting thing. So, I'm not seeing any particular seams. There looks like it's good. Oh, show color palettes for movies. Oh, that's Shot Deck. So, yeah, let me quickly go through Shot Deck here. In fact, my membership is starting to run out for Shot Deck. I'm still deciding if I should go with it. Let me find out. Let's see. I have a week to decide on that. Let's look up a movie. Anyone want to give a random movie for Shot Deck? Yeah, we don't see any seams for her. So, looks like the eye thing has been already fixed. So, just kind of watch out for eye occlusion. So, I'll show you. Let's go to her. Yeah, she's looking good. I think everything is good. I'm not seeing anything. Matrix. Yeah, let's look up the Matrix. There we go. So you get all these shots here, give you a frame of reference. Big blues. So yeah, we can even look at like the cinematographer. So if you want to see more of his material here, quite a bit. A lot of Edgar Wright stuff too. Let's see, for her should be good. So yeah, we can see I kind of zoomed out. It looks like everything's fine. I do have to fix some of the shadow issues, but we may have to look into that much later. Yep, there we go. Yeah, for the most part, it's pretty good. What I might do is actually since we have this really strong pink light, what I might do here. I'm a little tempted. Well, no, I think it's okay for her. I don't know. I'm still planning the lighting out, but how do you spot the inconsistent and figure out where they are and what they're causing? This comes from years of practice, like me just bringing in characters for years and saying, okay, like I look out for seams because I see them a lot. You kind of see some, not too bad. Just see tan lines. I think that was done on purpose. But anything that really sticks out just kind of comes down to like a detail. So if we add a level sequence here, I just want to make sure. It just comes down to practice. Like once you bring in enough characters, you know everything comes like a rhythm. So I look out for anything when like you'll see the eye stick out like a sore thumb. That's a translucency problem. So let's just go in here, make sure that it's good. Yeah, this is looking good for the character. I think I'm happy where she is right now. This character is fine. Let's see. I always look out for, like, I always do animation test. Just because we're streaming right now. Kind of see a little bit in the arm. The arms. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. One thing I do look out for, yeah, so you got wrinkle maps here, which is good. I just see anything that really pops out, like, oh, I don't like that. Yep. Now, there's a couple things. I think the hair might be too distracting. What I might do is when you go to activate cloth paint, oh, it doesn't have the ponytail. Weird. Ah, that's fine. What I may have to do is I'm going to set my paint value to 0. You want it between 0 and 5, and then you want like this would be your anchor, and then anything else you would paint like a 5 and then kind of smooth it out. That's way it'll kind of, it's not going to be, then you'll have to make adjustments. This one is like a very, very trial and error based attempt, but I usually do 0 and 10. There's always soft cloth tutorials on Unreal Engine. Someone will explain it a hell of a lot better, but I just do 0 because what it's going to do is it's going to become anchored just like that. So, and unfortunately I don't have the ponytail thing, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. It's not letting me do the soft cloth. But yeah, 0 to 10. So for her, and then there's gonna be some settings here. So there's gonna be settings down in the cloth configuration. What I would usually look out for is number 1, I would do kind of look out for collision. You may have to adjust as you go. Then you have to look at animation properties, the stiffness. So the hair stiffness, you're gonna have to adjust. I do anywhere from 0.6 to 5, and just work my way up and try playing it back and forth, which you can use. So I could save that, and it's gonna save here, but since I put it at 0, it's just gonna be frozen. But Try 0 to 10. 5 is usually optimal. You don't want to go anything beyond that when it comes to the paint value. So it's a lot of finesse and just messing around, and you're not going to get the best results half the time. It's usually pretty frustrating, I find. There's like an art to it, I guess. I think that'll work for her. You know, someone will be really happy to see this, so I'll send her a picture. And as for like trying to solve errors, a lot of it comes down to trial and error. Like I'm gonna find out to use a mocap suit at all. Yeah, I use a Rococo. It's just been a while since I used it because I'll be honest, last month has not been a pretty good month on my end. But I'll be using it for Redstrike. So I'll be going back to doing a lot more animation with the Rococo suit. And then yeah, a lot of it's editing. So for her, like I'm gonna have like a scene. So this one I'm gonna be very careful with when it comes to animation and talking. A lot more. I'll kind of work with it a bit more. So there's gonna be a scene where what is she doing? Get out. There we go. They're gonna have a word. She's gonna sit on the like one character's gonna sit out bar and just be depressed and all that. Just kind of ranting. I kind of have an idea how to frame this. Maybe have a couple people on the over here. I don't know if it's important or not. So kind of work with, like I said, I'm just kind of getting an idea what to work with. And also I have a couple animations of characters like taking shots and all that, so I'll work with that. Combine the two. If I don't need to do much, I just need to do conversation scenes. Kind of look out for these moments. And then the real fun happens, which honestly, there's gonna be a moment where I don't know, this could be really bad, and I don't think I should be doing it. But I'm gonna have, like, the character is gonna be really intoxicated, so I'll have to find out how to kind of replicate that, being really intoxicated. And that means like facial expressions and everything. I have to find out like how this character acts and everything. So we'll see. A lot of planning. A lot of planning's in the motion. Then we get into. Actually, let me get a character in here. Starters, I want a character in here. So let's throw in Elise too. Let's duplicate this guy. Under cinematic. Yeah, right. When it comes to animation, I always think. That's what I'm afraid of. Okay, so we're gonna have to properly get this lit. We're gonna have to look at this indirect lighting. I want to do. I want to at least increase your contrast. Does he have any light? This might be the light. Is there has to be like an indirect thing. What, 20? Trying to create this effect here. But unfortunately, the indirect lighting. Let's change this. What can I adjust? Am I able to adjust this? What I could do, just scaling. Trying to affect indirect lighting. Unless I know exactly what to do. I'm trying to create. What am I thinking, Ben? You dimwit. Okay, I want to see if this works. If it wants to play by life rules, we're gonna play by rules. So I want to make sure this character's pitch black so you don't see them. But the problem is we have some indirect lighting. I just realized, hey Ben, you can create what's called a flag. So I don't know how well this is going to work. So a flag for me. You can actually even see, like, this actually can work as a diffuser, which is interesting. So you see the light bouncing going directly to her. This is actually really cool for anybody who really wants to work with diffusers. But I don't want to do that. I wanted to create a flag. So what a flag is, and maybe I should put this into like props. So let's make a material and I call it flag. There's no specular. I want it to be black. Good. So with this flag, it's going to absorb the light. Now, I don't know if I can actually render. Oh my freaking God. What I can do is I want to what I want to do is kind of absorb the light. And I might even have to change the table. Because I think what's happening right now is I think this table is bouncing back and forth. But if I create a flag just like this and turn the table into a flag where it's going to absorb the light, it's going to look like we're getting better. But I wanted to I may even have to make like what I want to do is try to I may even have to work with more flags. I want to kind of absorb it. I want to absorb the light. I don't want this thing to be in the way. I want it to absorb the light here, so it hides the character. This is kind of advanced stuff, actually. This is really crazy stuff, I guess. This is dumb. Yeah, letting the shine. Yep, exact. Well, not even a reveal. What the joke is, this is for Redstrike. is that she doesn't even know who this person is. And in the script, if I went with it, is that this was kind of a bad thing because they don't know who hired her. So she goes in, and it turns out that she was actually stealing something for the bad guys. And she doesn't even know because she was too drunk to remember, and she didn't see this person's face. So I thought it'd be kind of amusing to completely hide whoever this person is. But this is just a stand-in. This is not the final character. I think something like this, if I can actually adjust it. The one thing is I don't want to. I think, yeah, having a flag, so that way the light doesn't bounce back into the character's face. It's just going to absorb. It's going to work, and I think it's interesting. We actually got flags to work, which is kind of crazy, but yeah. So basically, the light gets absorbed. It doesn't really bounce back. If you really want these kind of dramatic scenes, you want to work with flags, like a silhouette. Yeah, you want to have something to absorb the light so it doesn't bounce back and shine here. So that's what I was probably doing with the metal. It's probably bouncing back. Yeah, these are the dumb little things, I guess, that comes with where real life filmmaking comes into play. Because I'm trying to think, okay, how do we do this? Okay, we need something so it doesn't bounce back into the face. We need to hide it. Funny enough, Van Hoytma did this with the film. Did the exact same thing with the film. I'll show you what it was. He shined a bunch of lights and used the flag to hide it. He did something like this. So he shined a huge bunch of lights, and then he puts a flag so it doesn't kind of bounce back. So you see this happen a lot. So if you want characters in shadow, just put something to absorb it. Yeah. This means is I'll have like a bunch of lights kind of shine on her like a spotlight, because we have our sources here and here, and we have him. We'll have our one of the characters here talking. So we'll get that done. But yeah, I think that'll do for tonight. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. Yeah. So, see ya.